Greetings and salutations, folks. I am going to be bringing you a cast back in the desert. We're always in the bloody desert, I swear to God. God, there is desert. Curse you, Adilla, for making this map. It is such an ugly map, and now I'm always casting this damn flat-ass, sandy motherfucking thing. We've got Rutank playing as the Force Commander here today, which is his main. He's going to be going up against Metakelos, who is this time not playing as the Orcs, he's going to be playing as the Chaos Lord. I don't know whether that is more familiar to him or not, but maybe we can gauge it after we see this gameplay. As far as things are opening out, nothing unusual for either of the players here. Your conventional 2x scout build for Rutank and your 2x heretics coming out here for Metakelos. A little bit of deviation here though, in that the hero for Rutank is attacking the natural VP of his foe. No, actually, what am I talking about? It's the same thing! The heroes are heading towards the natural VPs of their foes, so we're avoiding one another. Of course, the heretics here can't really do anything against the FC, but they've got this conveniently positioned garrison that they can garrison and basically negate the FC. If you're going to waste the FC's time here with a heretic in the building, that would be perfect. Rutank is aware of that, so he's going to pull his FC away, but when he does, they can come out and get capping again. Welcome to Dawn of War 2 early game macro, folks. So no gens been dropped for either side yet. Rutank only just building his power node now, which is a little bit late. Both players actually quite late on getting their power nodes. Come on, step it up, guys. Step up your macro. God, what are you doing? You're only putting units in garrisons so far. So I don't like this play by Meta, moving the heretics into melee with the FC. Even without the supporting fire here, this would be a terrible idea because, I mean, they won't even take off half of his HP. And he's going to get a shitload of XP bleeding him. But he does retreat with only, what's that, 2 model losses, so nothing too large there. Oh, I don't know what, if Rutank's going for ASM, presumably he's gone for the double node play. He's doing a good job here microing his scouts, going to be able to kite those heretics quite effectively. FC's got onto the CSM and now the scouts and the tats can deal with the Chaos Lord. Especially because he's spending some time capping, and he's just going to retreat straight out of there. So generally I would say that this opening engagement went well for Rutank, but Metakelos has already got the Havoc out, because of course the setup team is a lot cheaper than an ASM squad. Still going to be a bit of time until Rutank has the requisition available for that ASM. And that will soundly counter the Chaos Havoc. Be interesting then to see what Meta gets, see if he goes for Noise Marines to elongate the tier 1, give another thing for the ASM to have to deal with. Of course he'll want to be getting the aspiring champions on his heretics in order to counter those predicted ASM. Okay, Rutank now floating. I'm surprised he doesn't have it on Overwatch, maybe he's not really a fan of Overwatch in general. He must be wanting ASM, or he would have been getting upgrades and dropping more gens long before now. So this is a pretty big float from Rutank. This is where you normally would say, yeah, this is where you should use Overwatch, but of course, there's so many games in which people have used Overwatch and accidentally purchased one too many units and then lost the game for themselves, so I'm always conscious about recommending Overwatch usage for players. But nice use of the tax there to flank the Havocs. Probably want to put them in green cover so they don't get suppressed quite as quick, and if you're lucky you might take out the lead model. He's got a flank here from the scouts, so he's going to punch the Havocs to de-set them up, and in fact they're just going to retreat out of there. Probably smart, because they would risk losing that frontal model, I believe. Combi bolters here on the Chaos Lord for Meta. What is Rutank doing? Okay, Rutank's fucking up big time. Either drop your gens and go for a fast tier 2, perhaps with an Iron Halo on the Force Commander, or bloody get your ASM out, boy. That is quite late. Literally 3, I mean, he can only get 2 for God's sake, had he not bled any models. So, what's he doing? He's noding that now. He's spent 125 rec there and he's reinforcing. He'll be reinforcing that scout, I assume. He might not. Might just run them around on 2 models to cap the map, we'll see. But finally, his ASM are going to be out. He's only got 1 gen. I'm not sure about this power noding. I would have prioritised getting my gens sorted first, I think. Force Commander's causing a lot of problems though for Meta running around the back line here. It's very difficult to deal with because you generally need 2 units. I mean, Havocs can deal with him if they actually set up and don't let him get into melee, which which is again a bit of a micro error there from Meta. But of course, there's things going on all over the map. We've got these heretics attacking the power node over here, getting poached by the scouts. This is a bit of a misplay. The 2 model scouts should definitely be the ones capping, the 3 model ones should be shooting. Rutank is paying attention. They're going to rotate them down to here so that they've got the safety of the garrison while the other scouts go to cap the natural requisition point. We do have an inspiring champion here on these AC ticks. I think a bit of a mistake to rotate onto the ASM there. You probably want to keep pressuring the tactical marines, where you're actually more likely to get a model wipe. I don't think you're going to win that fight anyway, given the state of the health of the heretics there. And it looks like the FC rotated to the mid as well to join that fight. Definitely going to be a big victory there for Rutank. Now Rutank still not replacing his gens. What on earth is he doing? His economy is dog shit. This game should have been over in tier 2 with a Razorback, if Rutank actually had an optimised economy. Because his battle micro has been really good. But I guess that's the problem, isn't it? He's focusing so much on the battle micro, he's totally forgetting to manage his economy. Meta going for double Havocs is pretty odd. You don't generally see Chaos doing that very often, since they don't really rely on the setup teams to deal with melee. They can just beat melee up with AC ticks in tier 1. And against an FC you can get a teleporter pack in tier 2, as well as the ASM, which is the jump squad which gets the second jump the fastest. I think it's a really bad idea. Not to mention upgraded scouts potentially running around throwing grenades onto Havocs. You've got P-Devs in tier 2, which when buffed with the Sacred Standard and for the Emperor will one-shot Havocs. I would not be going double Havocs against an FC. You need 2 times bolters. What's he talking about? I don't know if he's talking about you need 2 times CSM squads with normal bolters to kill the FC, which I disagree with, you definitely don't. Or if he's talking about you need 2 heavy bolter Havocs, which should be pretty easy to counter with scouts and that kind of thing. The other problem with the Havocs is if you don't get a gem bash off, you're gonna really struggle in tier 2 because the Havocs don't really scale. This is a bit of a tricky position here for the CL going for this cap. I'm very wary with the FC being in retreat path and these scouts potentially to pew him. Meta should really have been aware of this because he literally just seen the FC and scouts moving up in that position. Okay, I'll get out fine, but it was a waste of time. You know, he could have been up, he didn't achieve anything there, he didn't even get the decap, he could have been healing this whole time. Silly of Rutank to think he'd get the kill there. This Chaos Lord is way too high in HP, it'd be like 2 or 3 hits to kill him anyway. Didn't even manage to get 1. You see again, Havoc's caught out of position. And these are against scouts which don't even have a grenade. If they had a grenade, then they can just run rampant, because they know the Havoc can't even set up in their face. See, the problem here is Rutank gets to tier 2, now he can get an ASM Sarge. The ASM Sarge, if he had him present in this fight, just merciless strikes and yeets those ticks flying and kills basically all the basic models. And then you potentially got teleporting Force Commander. I don't know. Anyway, because of the economic struggles of Rutank and the delays in getting his gen farm, in spite of him winning so many of these engagements and having a really good map control, he's actually arriving at tier 2 at a pretty similar time to Meta. Now, for some reason he's decided on getting Sternguard as his first purchase, which I find a bit strange. Obviously that'll be very good against Heretics, and the Chaos Lord, and potentially Bloodletters or Plague Marines, yet we aren't actually seeing any of them yet. And with this very defensive Havoc-based play, I'd be more inclined to go for something like a Chaos Dreadnought. Chaos Dreadnought into Bloodletters could be a very good build here for Meta. Might be what he's going for. It looks like his economy is quite well set up right now to get a good timing on a Chaos Dreadnought. He did choose for some reason to go for this Mantle of Hate very early. It's a great piece of kit in this matchup, the ability to stun the FC in place, especially if he goes for something like the Teleporter pack, but we don't see any upgrades yet on the FC, so I don't really feel like controlling him is too much of a priority. And you can use it to try and snipe the ASM Sarge as well, which is nice, but again, I don't think it's a priority right now. I'd be trying to get out an actual tier 2 unit sooner. Now we know because Rutank's gone for the Stern Guard, he's now also vulnerable to Tzeentchka's Space Marines, who will be able to outshoot the Stern Guard quite effectively. ASM second jump here should be able to wipe the Havocs. Where is it? Oh, really late. And he went for the other Havoc as well. Quite unlucky actually, he ended up losing the Sergeant as the first loss in the ASM. Typical, right? These are some default heretics, so they're not very strong at all. Oh no, I'm wrong. That wasn't the Sergeant. The Sergeant's still there, hacking away with his Power Sword. For some reason, the Chaos Lord was in range that whole time, not melee. Looks like he did actually kill the enemy FC somehow, and then a bit of a misclick retreats the Chaos Lord by accident, but it's okay. Sparring Champion heretics rotate over, and they're gonna tie up the Stern Guard in melee. Thing is though, Rutank has been able to save up for a Dreadnought because there's been no pressure on his gen farm. But let's see what he can do with it. I mean, he is against double Havocs. You have to assume one of these is going to become a Las Cannon. We might even see a Las Cannon plus an Auto Cannon, which I think actually would be a pretty good idea. And then get the Tzeentchka Space Marines as well. That would be quite a nice build. And then save up for your own Dreadnought afterwards. I think that would be a good loadout. Because Rutank went for the Stern Guard, which I don't agree with, he is now vulnerable to Tzeentchka Space Marines. If you have Tzeentchka Space Marines and an autocannon, you know that the Space Marine can't contest you at range at all, even when you don't have suppression. So then he's forced to come to you, and then you stun the Force Commander with Drain Life, and then you've got so many ranged AV pieces with the Chaos Dreadnought with its autocannon, and the autocannon Havoc, and the Las Cannon Havoc, that it's going to be very difficult even with ASM and a melee Dreadnought to tie up all those threats. But it is doable. I think better scout play from Rutank would really be influential. He needs to... Well, right now he's fine. He doesn't even need the scouts to be dealing with these Havocs. He's doing fine without it. But perhaps with the extra threat of the Chaos Dreadnought on the field, he will need to start relying on the scouts a bit more to deal with the Havocs. This is risky. Okay, he's going to get out in time, I think. Oh my god, that last hit was so powerful. He's going to die? Ooh, just survives. Fucking hell, he doesn't. Bloody hell. I don't know why he went for that play there, Meta, anyway. That was brave. And he has got this combo. Look at this. Autocannon Havoc, Las Cannon Havoc, and the... Oh, he's not even moving it out. Rutank's going to lose his Dreadnought straight away. Oh, man. I mean, again, a really poor macro decision there from Rutank to advance the Dreadnought up so much. He got the CL kill and then he should have got straight away because he must have known there was a threat of a Las Cannon. He's fighting double Havocs. If you go for a Dreadnought and your enemy has got double setup teams, you know fine well at least one of them is going to be getting the hard AV. At least one of them. And I even called it myself, the autocannon and the Las Cannon. It just made perfect sense. Especially when you've gone for Stern Guard and you've given them the kind of... You know, you've gave Chaos potentially the ranged advantage with some fully upgraded Tzeentchka Space Marines. So they don't need the heavy bolter anymore. And anyway, the FC, as far as tanky melee hero goes, you don't really use suppression to counter him because you could just get the teleportation pack and then you've got the Drain Life to counter him. So you don't need suppression. So the autocannon and Las Cannon is a really good choice, and an obvious one at that. Anyway, we've got the Devastator out, but it's not upgrading to a Las Cannon, which is again a little bit of a mistake. ASM needs to get the hell out of here, man. They're taking so much damage from this autocannon. Okay, they're actually staying in because of the Vengeance rounds and the Stern Guard. Actually outputting a lot of damage to the Chaos Dreadnought here. The Chaos Dreadnought's going to go down. Oh my god, it's trying to tie them up in melee. They've got... Oh, they kill it. That was close. Manages to get out with only having lost 2 ASM models there. Unfortunately, one of them, the Sergeant. I mean, I don't know if that needed to be as atrocious as it was there, if he got the Las Cannon a bit sooner, but he did it, and I guess it works out better for Rutank, because now he's actually got the heavy bolter Devastator, which can cover the mid. Though at the moment, it's not really doing too much, because he doesn't even own the mid. But at least he's still got that asset that's going to be useful against the infantry threats he's facing. Rutank did lose one of his scouts at some point. I'm not entirely sure where that happened. He also lost his FC over here, so that's unfortunate. Both players are going to be teching tier 3 at very similar times, and currently Rutank is approximately 100 VPs up, but not for long. It's actually ticking down quite fast. It's only about 80 VPs now. A 2-0 cap against him. Can't cap that mid VP, covered nicely here by the autocannon. This is where some infiltrator scouts would be great. Pop out here, grenade these guys, start shotgunning them. ASM of course are going to go over, but you can only have your ASM in so many places at once. Nothing's capping. Alright, well the ASM force off the autocannon Havocs there. They can now rotate to the mid and get capping. A little bit of a mismicro there from Metakelos' ticks into the Devastators. Should have remembered that they were around that vicinity. Going to be a bit of a lull in the action really, till we wait to see what the players are deciding on for tier 3 choices. Did Rutank just call in Terminators? No, he's just reinforcing the ASM, I guess. What's he getting? I feel like his rec bar just went down loads. I don't know if he built gens or what the hell he was doing. Surely not, because he's got 114 power and barely any requisition in the bank, so presumably wouldn't be a gen kind of player. I don't know where the resources went. Well, somehow the Chaos Lord managed to flank into the Devastators perfectly here while they were unset up. That's a pretty bad situation for them. This is a bad situation for the ASM too. It's alright, they got that knockback on landing. Keeps them safe from the myriad heretics wanting to slap them with their swords. And Rutank just trying to hold on basically right now. He doesn't have fully reinforced squads, he's got fewer squads, but he just doesn't want to cede map control any more than he has to. I mean, he also doesn't want to be losing his gen farm, because then he'll only be able to get one tier 3 unit out. What's the tier 3 choice going to be? Vanguard Veterans for now. That's actually quite a nice choice actually, because he only had 2 models. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Main disadvantage of the Vanguards compared to ASM is that they lack melter bombs. But that doesn't matter because he's not actually facing any vehicles right now. He's also got the Devastator still hanging around so he can get a las cannon if he needs it. Obviously he's got Vengeance on these guys, potentially get the Power Fist on the FC. Bit disappointed not really to see any upgrades on the FC here. This is an interesting one. Slaughter CSM versus And They Shall Know No Fear Sternguard. Clearly the And They Shall Know No Fear Sternguard kicking their ass, Jesus. Chaos Terminators with Lightning Claws is going to be the choice for meta. Well, that's interesting because it's very vulnerable. Ooh, I don't know why you retreated out the Vanguard. Was that a misclick? They actually do really well against the Chaos Terminators ranged variant. Of course, once these Lightning Claws come out, that's different. I don't want the Sternguard have to retreat through them. Oh, he misclicked. He bloody misclicked. He didn't click the squad, he clicked the ground and ran through them. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, well, that could have definitely been another 2 Sternguard models killed, which would have been quite nice. Because Rutank's got a fat amount of power right now. It's really going to be requisition that's limiting any further purchases for him. Now that he sees the Lightning Claw Terminators, I'd be going for a Predator. I know there's still an autocannon and a las cannon, but it's not that hard to deal with these immobile setup teams. You've got the FC, just make him a Terminator Force Commander at this point. He can teleport onto one of them, Vanguard can jump the other, and the Predator just keeps whizzing around. Besides, the setup teams are so slow, the Predator can keep rotating between the different paths on the map. It's going to be very difficult for much slower movement speed and setup time and teardown on the setup teams. It's going to be very difficult for them to keep up with a tank.
The enemy is...
I hope that Rutank does not think that he can... He does, doesn't he? He thinks he can win a melee fight. He's gone for Assault Terminators, the mad lad. I mean, he can give these guys Lightning Claws, he can buff them with For the Emperor, and he can buff them with the Sacred Standard, plus the Battle Cry on the Force Commander, but I'm concerned because the Chaos Lord's pretty good at supporting Terminators in these brawling kind of situations. The Chaos Lord can get the Blood Maul, and the big AoE smash from the Blood Maul is unique in that it stuns, so you can stun enemy Terminators, and then you can activate Bloodlust when you get a massive army versus army engagement, and yeah, you're gonna get so much stacking damage boost that a Force Commander won't really be able to compare. Combined with the stun and potentially Demonic Visage to debuff the damage of the Loyalist Terminators, I think the Chaos Terminators should be in a pretty good spot, but we'll see. I would not have tried to go toe-to-toe with them. I would have tried to get the Predator, which is more of a clear counter. We'll see though, we'll see.
Ready, Terminator armor.
Yeah, we've got the TFC coming out now. Terminator Force Commander. I don't know, it's okay. It's not great. I feel like, honestly, Sacred Standard and the Power Sword would be better just to buff up the damage of your own Terminators exponentially. But we'll see.
He has 200 points remaining.
I mean, is he gonna go for Lightning Claws? Okay, this is a mistake here. He's gone for Lightning Claws and the Chaos Lord. Whilst that does have higher DPS, a lot higher DPS, ultimately the DPS of the Chaos Lord here is irrelevant. It is the DPS of the Terminators is more important, I think. I'd rather have had the stun. So Bloodlust was activated before the Emperor is activated on the Loyalist Terminators. It looks like the... Oh man, this is a really even fight. Of course, Vanguard are now contributing though. Whoa, what did they do there? They just teleported forward like 2 inches. The fuck? The autocannon's going kind of crazy. We do have the Lightning Claws on the Terminator Force Commander, but he's going to get dropped by the Zinchka Space Marines, who are accidentally running into melee right now with the Vanguard, which is not ideal. It appeared that the autocannon got some really good damage going in that engagement, but mispositioning it there in the end game was unfortunate. I'm not sure why this last cannon Havoc is setting up right now. It should just be running down the north-west side of the map, going for the natural VP of Rutank. God. Heretics managing to kill a couple of Vanguard veterans there is pretty nice for them. The Chaos Lord kill another Terminator? Fucking hell. Okay. Oh shit, did he kill them all? Oh my god, he did. He wiped Rutank. The Chaos Lord killed the final Terminator of Rutank. I guess probably stunned it for a while with the Drain Life and then chopped it up. Okay, maybe the Lightning Claws were a good choice. Holy crap. Wow, why did Rutank leave it undefended? Look at the HP on the Chaos Lord. How did the Chaos Lord manage to slip through and do that? And not get shot down by something like the Stern Guard? Absolutely bizarre. Oh, but this is looking bad for Rutank. Will he be able to kill these devs before the Havocs before they decap? Looks like he will not. No, they decap. Meta's not watching. Okay. If he jumped on them with the Vanguard, that could have been a wipe. Yeah, we've got these fully upgraded Zinchka Space Marines now too. Yeah, that's brutal. I would not have tried to fight them like that. I mean, a ballsy move by Rutank. He's like, oh, you're trying to out-melee me? I'm the Force Commander. I don't get out-meleed. Great purchase though with the Lightning Claw Terminators for meta. Perfect. Yeah. Not having his Terminators is basically GG, you can't compete. Oh, he didn't retreat it all the way to base, so it stopped moving and turned back around. Oh, wow. And then got killed by the Chaos Lord, and that's basically GG. Oh well. What can you do? Well, there you go, boys. A bit of that Force Commander versus Chaos Lord, a classic matchup. Hope you did enjoy, in spite of being on ugly-ass Calderis Desert. It's going to be all from Torpid this time. Leave a comment down below. Help us get boosted in the algorithm so more folks can see this. And if you want to support the channel, check out my Patreon. You've got over 35 videos on there featuring high-level 1v1 casts that are exclusive. And of course, you supporting the channel. It's going to be all from your boy Torpid this time. I am signing out.